A and I are jewelry designers.
Yeah,
But
I know,
like
I know, and it shows. Yeah,
originally.
yeah.
So, but interestingly, we didn't start off with jewelry. We started off with bejeweled bags. So that's the interesting part. And I think it's just it came. We felt like
Yeah.
it. But like you said, our bags are all the source of inspiration is always jewelry.
Jewelry.
So we started first with the name, what we wanted to do, and then from there, like, okay, we have to have a framework, and then start researching in the right areas. And then we came up with the idea of accessories, and from accessories, let's focus on handbags. And then it was very interesting to us that leather, a lot of the exported leather to the big brands and the big fashion houses comes from Egypt, because of the way the the cat their
The skin itself?
The
the
skin.
because of the weather and what they feed them. So it was
And like Turkey, right? It's a similar.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting for us to start looking into tanneries in Egypt. And then we started going from one tannery to the other. And then from workshops, trying to find the right artisan. And then it took
So the leather
quite
was the base.
leather was the base,
Yeah.
but before finding the base, I wanted to find all the suppliers.
Right.
So suppliers. And from there, I wanted to have my own space. So we found the suppliers. And then from there, I took we took our dad's storage and turned it into a workshop.
So very much like Bill Gates, you started in the garage.
Exactly. Yeah, literally. And Steve Jobs actually
And
was
Steve
Steve
Jobs.
Jobs was a major inspiration.
Right.
Like I would read a lot about his story. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
What
yeah.
part of it did you find inspiring?
I loved all his quotes and how he started and the fact that he took over the garage, and then it was very
And
interesting.
how his sense of failure was essential to
Exactly.
his success.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
there's this quote where there's you don't need anything to push you. The vision pulls you. And that's what we worked on, because we had the vision. We had it all cleared out in our heads in the very beginning. It wasn't like, oh, I got house.
And
No,
what
it
was the vision at the beginning?
the vision was I have a global brand.
Okay.
You know, I had this fear of creating a brand that just lasts for a year or two and then with bad quality and then bye-bye. I
Right.
really had this fear. So we're like, no, we're not going to go that direction at all.
So you never thought of yourself at the beginning as an Egyptian brand. That wasn't.
No, Egyptian brand that made it internationally. Like Bax, we really
But we
wanted
didn't really
to.
limit it to Egypt. I think it was like an Arab thing. It's like
Yeah.
Egyptian, Arab, Middle Eastern. It was.
But your first collections with the use of metal felt very Egyptian.
Yeah, because we wanted to stay to our core and our
Yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah.
But that's the point. We wanted, okay, French brands, Italian brands, and we saw how everyone here and in the Arab world are so obsessed with the Western fashion. And we really wanted to change that because we're the spenders of luxury, right?
Yeah.
Why don't spend from designers from the region that speaks your language and comes from almost the same culture? So it made sense to start in the Middle East and with Arab designers. And to our luck, it was Vogue Arabia's launch. So with the launch, they did this competition for designers. What was it called? Vogue Arabia competition.
Yeah.
Fashion Trust Arabia.
Fashion Trusser.
Fashion Trust Arabia. Fashion Trust Arabia. Sorry. Yeah. So it's called Fashion Prize.
Yeah.
There's the ready to wear and there's accessories.
Right.
And we won the accessories. And it was great because the judges were incredible and they were very well respected in the fashion industry from the Middle East and international. It was 20.
But mind you, yeah, the comparison to our competitors, the quality was really bad, and it was like, oh my God, and we were laughing about
We're
it.
comparing it to now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
back then,
But back then, it was the best we could have
Provide,
provided for a workshop, right?
And then I
With
guess the
limited
judges saw the potential, right?
Exactly.
Judges
That's it.
told us something that A and I just really held on to. They're like, you girls have identity, and it's so the quality is so easy to fix, but the identity is so hard to obtain
Yeah.
or to have.
I think that's really true. And you girls knew exactly who you were from day one.
Exactly.
That's priceless. You can't buy that. You can't fix it.
Thank you. So yeah,
It's true.
So they were like, even so, I remember one of the judges was like, the backpack you created a year ago is the same. You've created another backpack, but a summer version of it. But it's the same design, so I can still tell these two items are Okhtein, and
Yeah.
they're like,
And that's
From that
exactly what
time.
you're looking for.
Yes.
I think it was fate actually because we really did. So if I want to give real advice to someone, is that it's not going to come to you definitely. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is that if it doesn't come the first time, you try the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And until you've tried everything, and when you just surrender to it, it says when the universe sends you a little gift. And this is exactly what happened. It's like we asked around, we hired someone who was wrong, who wasted the first money we had saved. It was, I think it's just, it was meant to go on this journey, to try. And that makes it, you appreciate it more when you actually get finally find
Of
someone.
course.
Yeah. This is why I've been reading a lot lately, because I think manifestation is also very limited. So I used
Okay.
to preach it for the past.
Because last time we spoke,
Yeah.
it was very much in your thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, it does exist, right?
Yes.
Because we've manifested a lot of things really out of the blue. But then there comes a time where you really want something and you don't get it, right? And you're doing it like by the book. So it got me thinking a lot the past few months, okay, is manifestation real? Or is it luck? Definitely it's not luck. Okay, is it because you really
There is
wanted
a
it?
portion of luck to everyone's
I
success.
don't believe in luck.
But not only.
No, I don't
It's a
believe
lot
in
of
luck.
hard work.
I actually don't believe in the word luck.
Really? Not at all.
At all. Not even 1%.
Another way of saying it is timing. You're in the right place at the right time.
Which is also your fate, right? So it's not luck again, because what if I start comparing myself to someone else and be like, oh, he's lucky and I'm not, then I'm going to end up being very disappointed and like, why God am I not lucky like this person? So it's not really
Yeah.
about luck, you know?
Yeah.
It's just everyone has their own journey and everyone has their own fate. So I've noticed that manifestation really works when you have put a lot of faith in it, okay, with very good intentions, backed up by very good intentions. And there's also a chance that it won't happen. So you have to be very open
To that failure element.
to that it not coming. And that's the key here.
Tell me about Balmain.
It was a dream. I think Mounaz manifested this because
So it worked.
but really, like before even the idea of collaborating together, Mounaz, we were having dinner and Mounaz was like, you know what? I have a feeling that we're gonna collaborate with a big name.
Balmain.
Balmain.
And you said the name.
She said the name. I'm like, even Muhammad and I were like, Mounaz, come on.
La La
She's
Land.
like, trust me, I have a feeling. And then honestly, a couple of months later,
No, 3 weeks later.
لا, it was like a month مثلا
3
بعديها.
weeks later.
Yeah,
I
a month or
remember.
two.
I got a phone call.
We got a phone call that they're looking for Egyptian designers to collaborate with, and they're interested in Okhtein. And that we're like, oh my God, emoji moment with Mounaz.
Totally.
You manifested it.